I still remember the exact sound of his laugh that night, low, mocking, like I was some kind of joke he'd already figured out. It's strange how a single sound can burn itself into your memory, playing over and over when you're lying awake at 3 a.m., wondering how everything in your life flipped upside down without you even noticing. At that moment, I didn't fully understand what was happening. All I knew was that the man I thought I knew, the one who promised me forever, was looking at me like I was a fool. And maybe for a while I was. His name was Ryan Matthews. 31 years old, tall, confident, and the kind of guy who knew exactly how to work a room. When we met at a friend's barbecue in Dallas, he had that lazy smile and easy charm that made you feel like you were the only person there. I fell fast, faster than I should have. Within a year, we were living together in his loft downtown. Ryan wasn't perfect, but who is? He worked long hours in real estate, sometimes gone late into the night for client dinners. I trusted him. That was my first mistake. The night everything started to unravel was a Thursday. I'd gotten home early from my job at the marketing firm, thinking I'd surprise him with dinner. I made his favorite steak, garlic mashed potatoes, and a bottle of red wine we'd been saving. I even lit candles. But when he came through the door, he didn't smile or hug me like he usually did. He looked amused, like he just heard a joke he couldn't wait to share. "What's funny?" I asked, still holding the wine opener in my hand. He shrugged, tossed his jacket on the couch, and gave me this look, half smirk, half pity. "Nothing. You wouldn't get it." I should have pressed him, but I didn't. I was too busy trying to read his mood. Over dinner he barely talked. When I asked about his day, he gave short answers and kept checking his phone. I noticed a name pop up on his screen, Samantha. I'd never heard of her. By the time dessert was done, he was leaning back in his chair, scrolling, that same faint smile tugging at his lips. "Ryan," I said, trying to keep my voice calm, "is there something you want to tell me?" That's when he laughed. The laugh that would stick in my head for months. Low, sharp, and dripping with something I couldn't place, maybe mockery, maybe victory. "You really don't have a clue, do you?" he said, standing up and heading toward the bedroom. I followed him, heart pounding. "A clue about what?" He turned, phone still in his hand. "About the fact that I've been seeing someone else for months. And honestly, she's nothing like you. She's fun. She doesn't nag. She doesn't make me feel trapped." The air left my lungs. My fingers went numb. I thought he was joking, he had to be. But the smirk on his face told me otherwise. "You're lying," I whispered. He opened his phone, tapped a few times, and then held it up for me to see. There it was. A picture of him and a brunette I'd never seen before, smiling in some beach selfie. His arm was around her waist, his hand too familiar. The caption read, "Couldn't be happier." I felt the room tilt. "Why are you showing me this?" I asked. "Because I want you to understand," he said, his voice almost casual. "I'm done hiding it. I'm moving on. You should too." Then he brushed past me like I was nothing more than an inconvenience in his night. I stood there frozen, my mind replaying every late-night meeting, every unexplained text, every time he turned his phone over when I walked into the room. The signs had been there, I just didn't want to see them. I didn't sleep that night. I sat on the couch, staring at the city lights, feeling like my chest was caving in. Around 2 a.m., I went into the bathroom and splashed cold water on my face. That's when it hit me. He wasn't just cheating. He enjoyed telling me. He wanted me to hurt. And if he wanted a reaction, I'd give him one. The next day I didn't confront him. I acted normal. I made coffee, asked about his schedule, even kissed his cheek before he left for work. Inside I was already planning. Ryan had a habit of underestimating me. He thought I was too soft to fight back. What he didn't know was that I'd grown up watching my single mom rebuild her life from nothing after my dad walked out. I knew how to start over. I also knew how to play the long game. First, I needed proof, not just a selfie on a beach. I needed something undeniable. Something that would shatter his carefully curated image. Ryan wasn't just a boyfriend. He was a public figure in his own way. His real estate career depended on trust, reputation, and looking like the kind of man you'd want to buy a house from. One scandal and his career could crumble. So I started watching. Not obsessively but quietly. When his phone buzzed, I noted the time. When he left for meetings, I paid attention to what he was wearing. I even took photos of receipts I found in his pockets, dinners for two at upscale restaurants, hotel charges on nights he claimed to be working late. I didn't confront him, because confrontation would give him the chance to spin the story. I wanted him caught, cornered with no way out. 3 weeks passed before the opportunity came. He told me he was heading to Austin for a 2-day business trip. I smiled, wished him luck, and then waited until his Uber pulled away before calling my friend Jenna. Jenna worked as a photographer, the kind who could blend into any crowd with her camera. I told her I needed a favor, a big one. By Saturday evening I had them. Dozens of photos. Ryan and Samantha checking into a hotel together, holding hands at a wine bar, kissing in the parking lot. All time-stamped, all crystal clear. Looking at those images, my hands shook. Not from sadness anymore, from adrenaline. From the knowledge that I now held the kind of evidence that could not only ruin him personally, but professionally. The question was how to use it. And that's when I remembered something Ryan once told me during one of his drunken late-night rants. The internet never forgets. He'd said it about a client who posted something dumb on social media and lost a deal. Ironic, really. 'Cause now, I had the kind of ammunition that, once posted, would follow him forever. And I was just getting started. The morning after everything blew up between me and Jason, I didn't sleep in like I usually did on Saturdays. I woke up early, not because I had anywhere to be, but because my brain refused to shut off. Every detail from last night kept looping in my head. The way he looked me in the eye and laughed, the way his friends stared at me like I was some uninvited stranger in my own relationship. I sat at the edge of my bed, my phone in my hand, staring at the home screen without even unlocking it. His name was still there in my contacts, but I had already blocked his number. It felt both empowering and pathetic at the same time. Empowering because he couldn't reach me. Pathetic because deep down I knew I still wanted him to try. But the longer I sat there, the clearer it became. There was no fixing this. And then my phone buzzed. Not from him. From Sarah. Sarah wasn't just my best friend. She was the one person who had been there through every stage of my relationship with Jason. The late-night phone calls when we first started dating, the fights I swore were just misunderstandings, and the red flags I ignored. "You awake?" she texted. "Barely," I replied. 2 minutes later, my doorbell rang. I opened it to find Sarah holding a giant iced coffee in one hand and a bag of donuts in the other. "Breakfast therapy," she said, walking right past me into my kitchen like she owned the place. We sat down, and before I could even take my first sip, she asked, "So, you gonna tell me what happened last night? Or do I have to hear it from everybody else first?" I told her everything, the smirk, the laughter, the girl he'd been texting, the way he didn't even try to hide it. By the time I finished, Sarah was gripping her coffee cup so tight I thought it might crack. "That's it. We're done playing nice," she said. "What do you mean we?" I asked. "I mean, we're not just letting him walk away like nothing happened. He embarrassed you. Publicly. He doesn't get to just get away with that." I leaned back. "Sarah, revenge is messy. It's just gonna make me look smart," she interrupted. "It'll make you look smart." She had that look in her eye, the one that usually meant I was about to get dragged into something big. That's when she told me about Jason's perfect image online. His whole Instagram was curated to make him look like the dream guy. Successful, loyal, trustworthy. He posted motivational quotes about relationships like he was some kind of love guru. He had even started a small business that depended on people believing he was this stand-up, honest man. And then it hit me. I didn't need to scream, I didn't need to confront him in person. All I had to do was show people who he really was. But to do that, I needed proof. Lucky for me, Jason had never been good at hiding things. By Monday, I was back at work, pretending to focus while my brain was fully committed to one thing. collecting every piece of evidence I could find. I remembered that Jason used my laptop a few weeks ago because his had died. And Jason, in all his arrogance, never logged out of anything. I pulled the laptop out, opened his email, and sure enough, there it was. Dozens of messages, not just to the girl from last night, but to two others I had never even heard of. Dates, pictures, I miss you messages, all timestamped during the months he swore he was too busy with work to spend time with me. I felt my chest tighten, not because I was hurt, that part of me was gone, but because I realized just how far he'd gone behind my back. Sarah came over that night and together we organized everything into folders. Screenshots of texts, email threads, pictures he sent, even voice memos. "This is gold," she said, scrolling through the files. "We could destroy him in 5 minutes." I nodded, but I wasn't ready to drop it yet. I wanted this to be more than just a quick burn. I wanted it to be something he'd never recover from. 2 days later, Jason tried to contact me. Not through my phone, he knew I'd blocked him, but through a mutual friend. "Jason says he wants to talk," the friend told me. I didn't even hesitate. "Tell him I'm busy." But inside I smiled. If he was already feeling the tension, that meant something was working. The plan started to form in my head. Step 1, gather proof. Step 2, craft the perfect post. Step 3, drop it when he least expected it, at the moment it would hurt the most. And that moment came faster than I thought. That Friday, Jason was hosting a big networking party at a downtown rooftop bar. I only knew because he posted about it on Instagram like it was the event of the year. All his clients, all his friends, everyone who ever admired him would be there. That was my stage. I spent the whole day putting together the post. Not angry, not ranting, just facts. Screenshots. Dates. Pictures. No added commentary. Just the truth wrapped neatly in a way no one could ignore. Sarah looked over my shoulder as I typed the caption. "Sometimes people aren't who they pretend to be. Here's the man who laughed when I confronted him about cheating, and here's proof of every word I'm saying." We scheduled it to go live at 8:15 p.m., right in the middle of his big speech. When the time came, Sarah and I sat in my apartment with 2 glasses of wine, watching the clock tick down. At 8:15 exactly, I hit post. And within minutes, chaos. Notifications exploded on my phone. Mutual friends messaged me. People commented in shock, tagging others. I could almost feel the ripple hitting that rooftop bar. At 8:23, my phone lit up with an unknown number. I didn't answer. At 8:25, another call. Still ignored. At 8:30, Sarah's phone rang. She glanced at the screen and smirked. Guess who? We didn't pick up. I knew Jason wouldn't just take this quietly. He'd fight back, try to spin the story, maybe even beg me to take it down. But I wasn't scared anymore. Because I had something he didn't, the truth and the guts to put it out there. And the night was far from over. I didn't sleep that night. Not because I was anxious, but because I was excited. The video was ready. Every clip perfectly timed. Every text overlay sharp. Every photo undeniable. I'd included his laugh, the one he gave me that night when I found out, right at the start. That sound alone could make anyone hate him. And the ending? Oh, the ending was art. It was me smiling into the camera, holding up my hand with the ring he gave me. Before I dropped it into the garbage disposal and hit the switch, sparks flew, metal screamed, and the screen went black. By 8 a.m. I had already posted it. Not on my private accounts. Not just to friends. I uploaded it to TikTok, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, and even Reddit. The caption? Short and lethal. When your boyfriend cheats and thinks you'll stay quiet. The first notification came within 3 minutes. By 15 minutes, the views were climbing so fast I couldn't keep up. People were sharing it, commenting, tagging their friends. OMG, this is gold. The laugh. I want to punch him. Where do I send flowers to this queen? By noon, the video had 1.3 million views. His name wasn't in the caption, but everyone in town knew. His face was clear in the photos. His voice was distinct in that laugh. By 3 p.m., I got the first text from him. Jake, take it down. Now. Me, why? You didn't care when you did it. Jake, you're ruining my life. Me, no, Jake. You ruined your own life. His sister messaged me next. This isn't fair to our family. You need to stop. I didn't even reply. By evening, I had strangers sending me screenshots of Jake's business's Google reviews. All 1 star. All with comments like, "Wouldn't trust him with my wallet, much less my heart. Cheats at work like he cheats in relationships." The man was crumbling. And then the final blow came, not from me but from the woman he cheated with. Apparently, she had no idea he had a girlfriend. She saw my video, connected the dots, and went live on her own account, telling thousands of people that Jake had lied to her too. She exposed texts, DMs, and receipts from the week he was still telling me he loved me. Jake's laugh? It wasn't just burned into my memory anymore. It was now burned into the internet's memory. Forever. 2 weeks later, I saw him at the grocery store. He looked smaller, weaker. No smug smile. No laugh. He avoided eye contact, grabbed his things, and left without a word. I didn't feel anger anymore. I felt free. Sometimes the sweetest revenge isn't just about payback. It's about making sure they can never rewrite the story. And I had written mine for the whole world to see. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to subscribe, like, and share. More jaw-dropping revenge stories are coming your way.